a lot of people are concerned about the time commitment, right? And I actually know that was one of your concerns going into it. Talk to me about that and what your experience has been, and were you able to, do everything? And did you feel behind at times, and sort of that experience?
Sure. I'm actually balancing 3 jobs. So that was, so yeah, that was a big thing for me was, am I going to have enough time to do this? And I just really sat down and thought about it. I talked to my husband about it. And I just felt like this mission is so much bigger than myself, and the things that I could potentially use as excuses to hold me back, I didn't want to. So I thought to myself, that means I have to stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to get everything done and get through the courses and the material, then for me, it was worth it because it's so much bigger than just me. My athletes and the people that I work with deserve to have this information because they're struggling, and me coaching at different levels, I get to see the struggle, and I wanted to do something more to help because I knew there was more out there. Um, did I struggle? Did I get behind? Absolutely. And I think every single person at one point or another, we all
Yeah.
talked about that in the group, and kind of that feeling of being overwhelmed and behind a little bit. Um, but that's just another area that personally I was able to work through this course. And what's cool is you gave us some serious hard truth, and it wasn't always easy to take, but for us to process that and work through that and learn how to manage everything has been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things we really do talk. It doesn't seem like it's related to mindset coaching per se, but like the mindset of not feeling overwhelmed is actually a huge thing. And that's obviously like a life skill. And it's something, and the reason that we talk about it is because I'm always dealing with it too. Right. Like, and that is just like, I feel like there's a point in the training where almost everybody is feeling it. So, and it's all in your mind, because some people are ahead, some people are behind, and it's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's interesting how that actually ends up being a big mindset block.
I'm actually going to ask a follow-up question from you because John's asking, and this is of course a big issue. And Tricia, you're working, you have kids, a family. A lot of people in the training are balancing. I mean, we were talking to Nikki earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, she has 2 jobs. And actually she was like, actually I have 3. And so, the time commitment, that's whenever we start something new, we always want to know the time commitment, right? So talk a little bit about that and how you balance it and what it meant for you and how you managed it.
Yeah, I have 5 kids, and I have 2 girls with special needs. And one of my daughters had a pretty severe medical challenge right in the middle of this. And I run a club, and I work another job for another nonprofit. And that was a concern of mine. How the heck am I gonna do all of this and keep all these plates spinning? Because our club, it was in the peak season of our club. Like, we're just competing at nationals now, a lot of stuff going on. But the thing that is so great about it is that Lindsay, she's done this herself. She's a wife and mother herself. She's very realistic. She's very authentic. She's coming alongside of us. So if we missed a phone call, it wasn't a scolding. It wasn't.
That's cool too. I'll scold you for other things, but not missing.
Right, but it was just real life. Like, hey, give me the best version of yourself. And then if when we had the weekly calls with our captains, if there was a concept we weren't, because the bummer of not being on the live meetings every week is you can't ask questions right away if you watch the recording. But I had another opportunity with my captain to say, hey, this concept that Lindsay introduced, tell me a little bit more about it, or how are you doing this, or that kind of thing. And so it's really doable. She set it up to be very doable. And I started a folder that said Mindset Coaching Academy, and now it is full with documents and PDFs and resources that I can use at any time they don't expire. Like, so even if I got to a busy season in a life, I could do it at my own pace because everything's recorded, and it is very doable with a busy life, I feel like.
Yeah. That's great feedback for me too, because I abhor group programs where there's just a bunch of crap to do. Like, give me a break. And the other thing is I review everything. I want to be intimately involved. So I don't want to give you guys a bunch of stupid stuff to do either. I'm selfish in that regard. So I'm glad to hear that. But Tricia, I thought you had 3 kids, not 5. Okay. So that's a lot. Rachel, you wanted to say something about the time because you're a college coach too with recruiting and everything. I might have muted you. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Hey, so
Hey.
actually, I see that Joe wrote about the cost as well.
Yeah.
So I'll, if
So
you're,
it's
if it's
right here
okay,
is yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll
Yeah.
talk about that too. But
Okay.
I think I was kind of in the middle ground. There were some weeks that I was all over everything. I was on the call first, or I was
Yeah.
there, but then there were some weeks that I just couldn't do it. And that is not like me at all. I have if I can't do it perfectly, then I'm not ready to do this. But I can't express enough how much I am so glad that the timing of this, that it came up, that I just jumped in and did it. And I definitely didn't do it perfectly. And there were weeks where I felt so behind. And it was like Lindsay was reading our minds, because then she would be like, there's no behind in this. There's no overwhelm in this. You're bringing whatever you're bringing to the table this week is making you a better coach. And it's what you are here for. And the program that you have access to is not expiring. You have time to slow down, to go at your own pace, to come back to it, to really dive in deep when you can.